Hello, my name is Steve Cheetham. For those people who know me, I'm a fisherman and an avid North Country spider angler. North Country spiders being one of the oldest patterns we have in the UK, I would think, and the Partridge and Orange, which I'm going to tie today, dates back to round about, well, back in the 1400s. So, to tie a North Country spider, Partridge and Orange, you'll first of all need a spider hook, and this is the Partridge L3AS straight-eyed spider hook. If you can't get hold of that one, the Partridge YL3A is the older version and a very good alternative, or you could use any light wire wide gape hook. For the silk, you want Pearsall's, and I like it's either Pearsall's or Langley. Actually, it's Langley now. Pearsall's went out of business a while ago, and I like using the hot orange. You could get a lighter version orange if you wanted to. It's personal choice, but I do like my hot orange. And for the feather, which is the most important bit, I've got these from Cooksill. A bit of advertising for you there, Steve. Worth a discount for me, I think. Right, that's the partridge skin. For the Partridge and Orange, you need these feathers round here. Okay, the browny bits. You could get away with some of these up here, but they tend to be a bit long in the fibre. It's this area here where there's some nice browny ones. If you're tying a partridge and yellow, partridge and red, partridge and blue, it's these grey feathers up here that you want to be using. Okay, so grey for yellow, red and blue. The Partridge and Orange, it's these feathers here, and as you can see, I've taken a few out already. So first of all, prepare your feather for putting on. Right, you'll have to excuse the welding glasses, but my eyesight isn't what it used to be. So the feather that we are wanting to use is a nicely formed, nicely rounded feather with its points all intact. Okay, and when I talk about the upper and lower side of the feather, look at the curve of that. Okay, that's the upper. Turn it over, that's the lower side. So first of all, we want to get rid of all that what I call the bum fluff. We don't need that. Okay, so we've got that. Now hold it by the point of the feather like that and stroke the fibres back and try and get an even amount on both sides. Okay, can you see it? Like that. Right, that's the feather prepared. Right, the thread. Thread on, put one wrap just behind the eye there. It just gets the thread away from the eye. Now then, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 wraps. And cut off. I've seen some other tyres snap it off like that, but my vice ends up on the other side of a room if I do that. So 6 wraps, remember. Now get your feather bad side up, so the curve is going there. That means when we tie it on, the good side will be facing forwards. So put where we peeled it back, put it right up to the 6th wrap. Okay, and go round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another 6. and snip that off. Snip your end off. Okay, now we can go down to some people like short bodies, so they end up midway between the barb and the point. Some people like a bit of a longer body, so they end up roughly there where the barb is or was, depending if you've debarbed the hook or not, or you can take it down to the top of the bend. Right, I prefer that method. And now start going back up, touching turns all the way up, a nice slim, and I repeat, slim body, all the way up to the base of your tying in point. Okay? Right. Just get hold of that feather, pull it forward a little bit, and wrap in front. And finish the, stop the thread just behind the eye. Now we get to the tricky bit as far as I'm concerned, because I've got the shakes a bit this morning with stage fright. Pick your feather up and go round. A nice turn, one wrap. Two wraps. And if you want, you can just stroke the feathers back. Just stroke them a little bit. And I do 3 wraps. Okay. Right. Just on your third wrap, just go forward like that and then come back. It just releases some of the fibres. Okay, now we want to tie off. Just lean that feather slightly over that way. Pick your thread up and drop it down the stalk once, twice, 3 times if you want. And then your scissors just go in. You could just rest on the eye, your scissors rest on the eye and push. Okay, it looks a bit straggly, doesn't it? So what we can do now is tidy it up. Just get hold of the whole lot and go back like that. And put a couple of wraps in there. Now you're going to say, oh, it pushes all the feathers back. Hang on a minute, we haven't finished. Whip finish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if you want to. Pull it tight. Go in with your scissors open, never go in with your snipping, go in with your scissors open and push. Okay, now then, they're going backwards of the hackles, just push them forward like that. And you can turn your fly, can you see that? Point it towards you. All those hackles are going off at nice right angles. So that is your partridge and orange, and that's how it should be fished, okay? With the hackles sticking out like that. Because don't forget, North Country spiders are imitating something that's hatching or drowning. So the legs and the wings are going all over if they're drowning. So the hackles are imitating that. Now then, you get down to the riverbank, you give your pal a North Country spider for him to try. He gets hold of it and he says, oh, that's a nice fly, isn't it? And they hold it over the hackle. Why, for heaven's sakes? Oh, don't you jump up and down and stamp your feet. No, 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 no. There should always be held by the bend, always, even when you're tying on. And you can play around and stick those out. Now, in theory, what they say is, if there's 11 of the fibres there on a North Country Spiders, that's the minimum amount you want. If a bigger hackle fire, more hackle on it, it will sink slower, and 18 is about the maximum. So I ain't going to count those. I don't know how many there are, but it looks okay for me. And don't forget, the more you put on, don't put too many on, but the fish will take some off as well while they're fishing them. And quite often I fish with a partridge and orange, and it's only had about 3 hackles on at the end of the day. Right, so that's your partridge and orange tied. Tied North Country Spider way. And don't forget, when the old guys in this country, back in the 1700s, they didn't have a vice. They tied them by the hook like that, and they tied them. How clever were they? Brilliant. So that's a North Country Spider, partridge and orange, sometimes called the orange and partridge. Okay. So that's a good night from me, and it's a good night from him. Bye. Thank you.